It happened again. Another talented young player joins Manchester United, then 18 months down the line is rendered useless. Why do clearly talented players continuously fail at Manchester United? Is the club a talent graveyard? Are these exciting signings just not mentally strong enough? What is the reason? How did Di Maria, Sancho, Pogba, Veron, and Kagawa look like world beaters everywhere else, but as soon as they don the United jersey, their football ability just disappears? Join us as we take a deep dive into the Old Trafford curse and identify the one man whose departure destroyed Manchester United.
Red in Russia. This English night in Europe is Manchester United.
The first reason is inconsistent tactical roles. Pogba and Di Maria were often shoehorned into unfamiliar positions or roles. Louis van Gaal asked Di Maria to play as a striker, which is unheard of. Di Maria is one of the primary playmakers of his generation, and this was confusing for everyone involved. Pogba was played in a much deeper role compared to his Juventus days, where he had the freedom to roam to the left and support attacks. Manchester United saw Pogba as the new Patrick Vieira, which he isn't, and he was left to suffer. Manchester United has seen multiple managerial changes in the post-Alex Ferguson era. This lack of stability can disrupt player development and create an inconsistent tactical environment. Team building has been a major issue at Old Trafford. Building a cohesive team is crucial. At times, United's squad has been a collection of individual talents rather than a well-integrated unit. This can make it difficult for even the most talented players to perform at their best, added in with the immense pressure and high expectations at a club like Manchester United. It can be overwhelming. This pressure can affect players' confidence and performance levels, especially if they're struggling to adapt to a new environment, which is often the case. Moving to a new country and adapting to a new league can be challenging. Players often face language barriers, climate differences, and a new football culture that can take time to adjust to, which was especially the case for Angel Di Maria. There were often reports that his wife wanted to leave Manchester ASAP. It seemed like he did not want to be there, and the biggest reason for these talented individuals failing at Manchester United is because Manchester United is still in the past. You see, Manchester United have not modernized themselves. Let's go back to the days of Sir Alex Ferguson. In 2004, Manchester United was going through a dry period, or should we say a transitional phase. Chelsea were the new boys on the block. Arsenal had just done the Invincibles. They eventually went 3 years without a Premier League trophy, which is a catastrophic failure for their standards. But they had one thing that no one in England had: two young, hungry, world-class talents in Rooney and Ronaldo. In the years when Chelsea would dominate, United had Ruud van Nistelrooy leading the line. He was a great goal scorer, but limited those around him like Ronaldo. So United made a shock decision to sell him to Real Madrid and put faith in their two young superstars. Carlos Queiroz was behind this idea, as he wanted to modernize Manchester United so they could keep up and then dominate Europe again. In 2002, Carlos Queiroz arrived at Old Trafford to replace Steve McLaren. Queiroz had previously been coaching the national sides of UAE and South Africa, and Ferguson sought to bring in a coach who could replicate and further the work of McLaren. He left United and then rejoined them in 2004. United would embark on a new approach to how they played the game. Out went the poster boy Beckham, and in came Cristiano Ronaldo. There was talk before Ronaldo arrived that Ronaldinho and Arjen Robben were sought after to come to Old Trafford. Although this didn't happen, what these targets indicated was that the classic United style of play was about to change, favoring dribblers over crossers. With Queiroz, Cristiano Ronaldo had a coach who could teach and educate him to further his game and develop him into one of the world's best. Although that following season no trophies were won, United were developing a new style, and Ferguson appeared willing to be patient in order to build and develop their excellent youth players in Ronaldo and Rooney. Some important factors affected the upcoming seasons. The arrival of Van der Sar, Vidic, and Evra brought stability to what was, at times, a leaky defense. And in November 2005, United made their most decisive decision. They released Roy Keane from the club. It was Queiroz who was heavily rumored to be one of the main reasons for team captain Roy Keane's departure from Manchester United. According to Keane, he did not like the tactics that Queiroz employed, and he also did not like the way he was given so much responsibility as if he were a manager of the club. This was a clear indication that the old-school United mentality was being phased out. Beckham, Phil Neville, Nicky Butt, and now Keane were all moving on. It was an indication that Ferguson was willing to trust the vision of Queiroz and create a side capable of not just dominating England, but Europe. A sign of this was who he chose to replace Roy Keane, Michael Carrick. Carrick had a great ability of knowing where his teammates are before he receives the ball. His vision and awareness allow him to keep possession and play passes quickly, alleviating any pressure from defenders. His role as the pivot or anchor enabled Man United to play the expansive football they wished because he offered such solidity and confidence on the ball. He is the modern midfielder, strong, agile, disciplined, and excellent in possession. Tactically, the defensive midfielder is imperative for the sole reason that he offers solidity to his side, allowing fullbacks to move up the pitch. Who knows that their anchor will cover for them? Evra can attack so much because Carrick provides him cover. The balance of Man United is kept through Carrick, a key yet often neglected role. This was a transformation from British to European. One of the major criticisms of Ferguson has been his failings in Europe. 4 finals reached in his lengthy career at United does seem too few compared to the dominance that United has had in England. It was clear that the coaching of Kidd and McLaren, although successful, meant that United lacked the edge and understanding of the European game. This is why I believe Queiroz was brought in, to make United dominant in Europe by modernizing their style. Queiroz's transformation of the side was complete in the summer of 2006 when Ruud van Nistelrooy was moved on, citing issues between him and Ronaldo, whose late delivery meant Ruud was not receiving the right service. Ferguson chose Ronaldo, and that following season, United not only won the league, but did it in style. Ronaldo scored 23 goals in all competitions, almost as many as he had done in the previous 3 seasons. What was clear was that Ronaldo was now the goal scorer, yet his position was from the right wing. The evolution of style was away from United's wide play tactic of crossing and finishing. Ronaldo was now instructed to stay wide and drive inside with a single mentality of scoring goals. Queiroz clearly saw the way football was developing and the use of inverted wingers, those who cut inside, not out, and who seek to score, not provide, was what Ronaldo was groomed to be. It appeared Queiroz saw the future of football in players like Ronaldo and sought to modernize Man United in this style. Ronaldo's evolution was rewarded with many goals and success. He picked up the PFA Players Player of the Year award, the Young Player of the Year award, and the Fans Player of the Year award. Ronaldo was also one of 8 United players named in the 2006-07 team of the season, where the back 4 and goaltender were picked. It was clear that Queiroz had succeeded in transforming the side from a rigid 4-4-2 force into one that was now fluid and flexible. Ferguson's intentions to modernize the team now saw United playing more dynamic, fluid football, reflecting the more open and progressive play of the Dutch and Barcelona. In 2007-08, Ronaldo won the European Golden Boot, the first winger to receive this award. It just showed how far United had come in terms of their progressive style. Their winger was now their forward, and the side was created to get the best from Ronaldo. Often the ball would be played down the left. It would then be switched to Ronaldo, who would be hugging the right touchline with his immaculate touch. His speed and skill would frighten the fullbacks, and his ability to drive and shoot at speed with power and precision meant he was the most frightening player in the world. Pure perfection, and all credit to Queiroz for making this possible. United won the title 3 times in a row from 2006 to 2007, and it was apparent that Ferguson's own vision to evolve the side and create a truly modern European side was vindicated. Queiroz was the architect. He solidified the defense and created an attacking foursome that was fluid, creative, and ruthless. However, in 2006, amid rumors of an opening for the Portuguese national coach, Alex Ferguson started to push for Queiroz to be his successor as manager at Old Trafford and discouraged any possible suitors from approaching him. Nevertheless, following the departure of Luis Felipe Scolari in July 2008, Manchester United agreed to release Queiroz from his contract, and he was appointed manager of the Portuguese national team. This was a major loss for United and Ferguson, as he was clearly grooming him as his replacement. Ferguson had handed over much responsibility, and he had allowed Queiroz to evolve the style of the side. Ferguson should have done more to keep Queiroz, perhaps even stepping aside to allow him to manage the club. Instead, he left the current Champions League winners, and his departure would mean a gradual decline in style, quality, and success. Although United were unable to keep Queiroz for the 2008-09 season, they did keep Ronaldo, and they almost won the Champions League again, losing in the finals to Barcelona in Rome. Yet losing Ronaldo and Tevez the following summer meant the team that Queiroz had perfected were no longer. The new assistant, Mike Phelan, who replaced Queiroz, is the reason I believe that United increased the gap between the top sides and themselves. In the Champions League final in Rome, Barcelona showed the world that they were in fact the rising side of Europe and that their style was the one that served as a method for success. Since the loss of Queiroz, United have gone back to playing a very British style of football, which means when they sign foreign players like Sanchez, Pogba, and Di Maria, it often ends up not working out. The biggest issue for United in the last 12 to 13 years has been recruitment. The first sign of regressing recruitment was when they signed Antonio Valencia and Michael Owen as Ronaldo and Tevez's replacements, which showed a regression back to the old ways. Mike Phelan clearly has an old coaching mentality, and this showed in how United began to play. He replaced Ronaldo, an inside forward, with Valencia, a classic winger. I rate Valencia highly, yet he was a step backward in terms of the modern game. Since Alex Ferguson left, they have not won a single Premier League. If we look at Manchester United's recruitment since Sir Alex Ferguson has left, how many can we genuinely say have been a success? Bruno Fernandes is the only one you can undoubtedly say he's been a hit. The rest have been far too inconsistent or have been put in tactical setups that do not favor them at all. So, have United been failing these talented players? Is the tactical setup setting them up for failure, or are they just cursed? Let us know below.